And Miles, we are here at 7 p.m. EST. This is Real Estate 360. And we're going to talk today about how you can get from wherever you are to about $20,000 a month in, in income from wholesaling real estate, right? Now, I want to make this clear. This particular one is all about helping people that are literally just starting out. Maybe they have nothing at all. You know, they have nothing but the desire. Or maybe you've started but just haven't done a deal yet or any of that. And I'm going to give you some processes, some tips, some things today that you can do to, get on that path to making that $20,000. And the reality of it is, depending on how much time you have, this is a ship that you can turn around in a month or two, right? Depends on the attributes that you have, meaning in this particular case, not money, but time, right? So I'm going to talk to you today about how you get there and what that actually looks like, because it doesn't look the same for everyone. That I can assure you, right? It doesn't look the same for everyone. So grab your pen, grab your paper, your notepad, your notes, your tablet, whatever it is, because we're going to get right down to it. And this is what we got to do. Hey guys, it's your man Jason Miles here again. I just wanted to come to you today because I've got something great that I want to basically just kind of give you. It's my second book. It's called When There's Blood in the Streets, A Real Estate Investor's Guide to Winning. Now, this book here is all about how I found success in real estate, all the things that I did to become successful, all the things that I've taught other people over the past 17 years now about being successful in real estate. Listen, there's no lying, there's no kind of softening it up. Real estate is at a time right now where there's going to be some changes in the market, and it's not going to be enough to simply just fix and flip a house. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. So you have to implement, other strategies if you want to find success. There are passive income strategies that we do right now, lease purchase, sandwich lease options, things like that, where we're not just renting, we're creating homeowners, okay? There are fix and flip, there is wholesaling, there is a lot of other things that you can take advantage of that are in this book and kind of pinpoint exactly what it is you want to do for yourself. And again, it's free. All you have to do is fill out the information below, pay for the shipping and handling, and it's yours. It will be mailed right out to you. Now, you don't have to take it from me. All you have to do is read some of the comments and some of the videos, the shares, just things that other people are saying that I've been able to help them with as they've been building their real estate careers. And then, of course, turning around and helping other people. That's the most important thing. It's not enough for you to just have. It's got to be a situation where it's being reciprocated, where you're giving it back, right? That's what this is all about. Now, again, this is the second book that I've written, but it's just for what's going on in today's market. When there's blood in the streets, you've heard the saying, it's time for you to kind of start taking action. And you may not have a lot of money. You may not have any money. None of that matters. We're going to go over the strategies in this book. So fill out the information below. You get the book for free. Just pay for the shipping and handling, and we'll go from there. And I look forward to working with you soon. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. All right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is your man Miles, and today we're going to talk about what it takes to get to $20,000, and if you're there, what you can do to get on the path to really building your business, how you want to build your business, what you see for yourself. But today it's about wholesaling and what we do. So I'm gonna before I start off, I'm gonna start with a recap. We're at the end, actually. We have 2 more days for our 30-day challenge. We're at the end of it, and my God, have we had tremendous, tremendous, tremendous success. So I want to take a moment to shout out everyone that took advantage of the challenge. I hope that you continue to work, continue to work on your business, whether you got a deal or not. I know some people really came out of the gate on this particular challenge because we wound up having, I think, 9 or 11 properties actually under contract. Now, these are people that took the 30-day challenge. The 30-day challenge, we started on the 1st, right? So on the 30th, which will be Wednesday, will be the last day. And I want to talk a little bit about what they did. So as we move forward, let me add this. This is interactive. If you have questions, the chat is open. I may not see your name depending on what platform you're watching on, but I'm going to answer your question. So if you've got questions about a process, something you're going through right now in your real estate business, and just a hurdle, and you want to know how to get over that, let me know. It's an open forum, so let's talk about it, okay? Let's have a good, clear, clean conversation about whatever your issue is. So the comments are open. Please, by all means, ask your questions. So, congratulations, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's got a couple deals. Congratulations, Mike. Mike's got 2 deals. Congratulations, Selena. She's got 2 deals, one of which is closing this week. Congratulations, Steve. He's got 3 deals. I think one of them is going under contract this week. Who else? I don't have my list with me. But for everybody that's in there, I mean, that's 9 right there. So there's 1 more or 2 more people that have some deals that we got as well. And guess what? That's all just beating up the phones. That had nothing to do with paid marketing strategies at all. 0. That's just people with time making calls, calling sellers, calling agents, calling wholesalers, and putting deals together. Straight up. So how do you do it? And what are you looking for? How do you get to the point where you're making the $20,000 a month? Because I'll tell you, when you're starting out, there's 5 phases, right? We're only going to talk about the first couple. And the first one is to find your first deal. Get your first deal done. And how do you do that? Okay. What's important for you? Well, you've got to have some time, and you've got to get on the phone, and you've got to call people. You've got to have systems and processes in place first and foremost. What does that mean? Miles, systems and processes. I don't have any money right now. Some of you may not have any money, and that's fine. So your systems and processes are this. How much time do you have, right? Your system is going to be, let's just start there. Your system is going to be, if you don't have any money and you got just a little bit of time, your system is going to be, I need to make these calls and I need to say this thing, right? And you're going to decide in the very beginning, who are you going to target? Are you going to target other wholesalers? Are you going to target people on the MLS that have been on the, properties that have been on the MLS for 120, 130 days or more? Are you going to target tired landlords, vacant properties? Who are you going to target? That's the first thing you decide. Now, once you've decided that, now it's a matter of curtailing your conversation. What language are you going to be speaking, right? Obviously, you're going to be speaking English, but for each one of those groups that I just mentioned, you're having a different conversation, because what is hurting someone that is going through foreclosure is not hurting someone, or I should say the pain is different than someone who just has a vacant property, a property that maybe has some citations, a property that maybe they haven't rented and the tenant just continues to destroy this thing. The conversation is different. So we got to know what that is. So what does that look like? So just to give you an example, if I picked the tired landlord scene, I'm going to call these tired landlords and I'm going to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, my name is Miles. Is the property that you own at 123 Main Street still rented? Now, obviously they got this property for, income. So that's what motivates them. But I'm also uncovering whatever their pain is, right? If they have a problem. No, man, that thing ain't rented. I can't keep it rented. Or every time I put a renter in there, they just tear it up. I'm sick and tired of fixing it. I don't want to go to court with these people. They don't pay rent. They whatever. They start to unload all this stuff on you, and it gives you an in now. Now you know where to take this conversation, because they took you there. They took you to where you need to go to solve this person's problem. Okay, the problem in that case is, they don't have people that are paying their rent. So they're like, okay, this has to stop. I can't do this. I can't continue to come out of pocket and pay for legal fees and this, that, and the other. I get it. So we want to make sure that we're solving that problem. Now, If we're on the phone and we're calling people that have had their property listed for, let's say it's been on the market for 140 days and they can't get it sold for whatever reason, right? Most of the time, people really want to, they want to sell their property, right? Obviously, if they list it on the MLS, they want to sell this property. But after 140, 150, 160 days, what is the problem? Why isn't it selling? What's the problem? Is it my house? Is it the price? Is it what is it? So you have to walk through it and you'll see for yourself what it is. Not necessarily walk through the house, but walk through the details, because you might be marketing in another city, completely, polar opposite of you. Well, not necessarily polar opposite, but you might be in Kansas and marketing in Atlanta. You might be in Atlanta and marketing in Texas. You may be in Texas and marketing in California or Arizona or Nevada, whatever the case. You may not be able to go and literally just walk the property. So you're going to ask a lot of questions. You're going to get pictures. You're going to maybe do a Zoom as a walkthrough on the property, maybe hire someone to walk through the property with you, whatever the case. But you're going to ask a lot of questions. Have you had any offers on the property? Well, you have. How come they couldn't close? The interest rates. Got it. How close did you get to closing? Have you had any other offers? Do you mind telling me what they look like? So you can kind of get an idea at that point of what really motivates them. Obviously they want cash. They want cash in hand. They want cash in their hand right now. But sometimes you may be using a creative finance structure, especially if you have a beautiful looking house, right? Beautiful looking house, doesn't need any work, or if it does, it's just minor stuff, paint, cleanup, things like that. Nothing, not moving walls, not, redoing electric and plumbing and HVAC and roofs and windows, just little stuff. Doesn't really need much. You can get to their number or very close to their number. I have a program that we operate called 2 Year to Millionaire. And I talk about it. The video is available on YouTube. It's called 2 Year to Millionaire. That's our program. And it's about an hour-long video, maybe a little bit shorter. But it talks about how you do it. Not the nuts and bolts. It's a YouTube video, not in that one. It's not the nuts and bolts, but you get the gist of it if you do anything creative, right? You want to get it 10% below market, whatever market is today, sell it 10% above market, presuming or assuming, I should say, that it'll go up 10% over the term of whatever that agreement is. Presumably it's at least 3 years, right? And that will, over a relatively short time, turn you into a millionaire. It depends on how many deals you do. It just depends on how many deals you do. But you have to be in a position to at least do a deal a month. And how are we going to do that? Again, it starts with systems and processes, knowing what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis, knowing what your attributes are. How much time do you have to dedicate to this? How are you going to find the houses? Are you going to cold call yourself? Are you going to hire someone to do it? I recommend when you're starting out, I always say hire a VA. Hire a VA to do at least your admin stuff. Hire them for 10, 20 hours a week. Maybe you'll have them call for you as well. But I say you call because you need to know what processes work best for you, what verbiage works best for the business model that you're creating for yourself, right? And then put that in place. Where are you getting these leads from, right? When you get the lead and you're having a conversation with people, how are you storing them? Do you have a CRM? And it doesn't mean that you have to go out and get Salesforce, which is crazy expensive, which is why I use that one, right? I don't use it, but why I used it for an example. Let me be clear. But you could be using Constant Contact or MailChimp for your email delivery when you're gathering information for buyers or sellers, for that matter, right? You could be using Podio, or there's a ton of different things when you talk to people and you gather their information, and you can pop it in there and follow up with them if you need to. Know all the little nuances that might come up in the conversations. When I'm having a conversation with people, if I'm not in the vehicle, I've got my little paper, notepad sitting next to me, and I'm going to take notes, okay? They have 2 kids. They do this for employment. Okay, they've been in the house this long. They want to move here, or they want to buy this. Some people want to sell the house to buy into a business, right? Those are all things that we need to know for the follow-up process. It is about having systems and processes in place. I say that you do the vast majority of this show. Get yourself a part-time VA. I encourage you to do that, because even if you're just having them do your admin stuff, right? Checking your emails, handling your calendar, doing contracts for you, sending them out, whatever. So you don't have to do it. How much time would that save you? I mean, just right now in your life, look at it right now. Right now in your life, if you had an admin person just to do your admin work for 10, 15 hours a week, what would that give you in your life? What would that do for you in your life? What would that allow you to do, having that extra 10 or 15 hours a week for yourself? What would you do with it? Well, it's perfect for what we're talking about. You can get on the phone. I say until you're doing $20,000 a month consistently, don't start adding crazy systems into your business. And what do you mean, Miles, when you say consistency? What I'm saying in this case is at least 2 months, 2 months consecutively of doing $20,000 in revenue. Now you can begin to hire cold callers because it's not coming out of your pocket. Now you can begin to bring in a lot of the services that are going to make your life so much easier. Just some of them, not all of them. You're not going to hire, 10 people to do this thing and not know what you're saying, not know what you're going to be delivering. Because look, my team, my staff, my VAs, I have some that call pre-foreclosures. I have some that call tired landlords. I have some that call vacant houses. Okay. And each one of them, or each group, has their own specific script. They know what to say. If they say this, you say that. If they say that, if they say yes, you go here. If they say no, you go here. We're going to continue to have this conversation with them. And then there's the follow-up process, right? These are the things that you want to do. Outsourcing a lot of this stuff is going to come natural after you've got $40,000 or $50,000 in your pocket and you know what to say, because you have to train them on what's working for you. Because let's face it, when you hire people, and then I'm going to get off of this, I promise. When you hire people, they're in it for a paycheck. You're in it for something completely different. This is a life-altering thing for you. This is a life-altering thing for you. I used to do a lot of consulting, not just in real estate, but in other businesses. And one industry I did really good in was the food industry, because I can cook and I understand the business model. I had a bunch of friends in the business. My father was in the business. It's just a fun thing for me. I'm just good at it. Well, Miles, why don't you do it? I don't do it because I don't want to stand up for 16 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. I just don't. I mean, it's fun when I do it for myself, but when I do it for a job, it's a pain in the butt. I don't want to do it. I wake up in the morning, my ankles hurt. I can't move around for like 2 hours. It's crazy, right? But one of the questions or statements I say that I would deliver to the person across from me, the interviewee, is I'd state, look, hey, listen, this is my career. This is what I do. This is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. This is what the owner of this, establishment is going to be doing next month, next week, next year, probably a decade from now. This is their career. This is their livelihood. For you, this just may be a job. And so you need to understand that we're going to deal with you for what it is for us, which means this is our career. So if you're not doing what you need to do, we're going to ask you to leave. This might be a stepping stone for you, but this is my life. This is what I'm going to do. So if you understand that, we're good, then you know where I'm coming from and I know where you're coming from. Perfect. But this is my life. This is a stepping stone for you, but this is what I'm going to be doing. And so that's the kind of conversation that I have with my VAs. And if they're not performing, 30 days, they're out. 90 days is the next, 60 days and 90 days is the next, right? So the way I structure it, you're on a 90-day probation. You get this much money. If you make it past the first 30 days, that means you're falling in line. I'm not even mad at them if they only get 1 or 2 appointments in that first 30 days. I mean, I tell them I need them to get, 4 or 5 solid ones a week, but I also let them know I don't want you to just set crazy, goofy appointments, because when I talk to these people or when our acquisitions team talks to these people, I'm going to know based on the conversation that I have with them that this didn't work, that you're just booking something. I don't want that. I need you to qualify them. So in the beginning, I had to develop those qualifying questions so we could kind of weed people out pretty quickly, really quickly, so they didn't suck us dry for 30 days, right? I mean, we pay like $4 or $5 an hour. They're not necessarily sucking you dry in 30 days, but we don't want to just give money away that we don't need to. So my pops could burn, whoever that is on Facebook. Pops was a beast. My pops was a beast. He was a baker, but he could cook anything. Well, I gotta say, he was better at baking than he was a monster at baking. He was a beast, and I definitely got my culinary skills from him. He was a monster. Pops was great, but I digress. I miss my pops, but I digress. So as we're moving through this and we're dealing with people, we're going to weed them out based on what we know. So if you do this for 2 months, 3 months, before you hire somebody to do calls for you, you're going to be able to train them in exactly what's working for you on the list that you're calling. Then you can start adding more lists, more call lists to your thing, because you might hire them to do what you've been doing, right? So that's what I did in the beginning. So I hired one person, one lady, and I was doing good at what I was doing. I taught her how to do the same thing. We role played, even to this day. We do weekly calls, trainings, role plays, this, that, and the other. But in the beginning, I'm on the phone with her almost every day. Hey, how's it going? I'm listening to her calls. Hey, how come you said that? You didn't do this. This is what you do in that situation. Here's what I would have done. And you just go there. Once she's up to speed and she's setting appointments like I set appointments, now I'm going to go and add the next call list to my repertoire. And I'm going to be the one to make those calls, because I'm going to figure out what works and what doesn't work in that particular call list for me. See, these are systems and processes. These are systems you have to, okay, perfect example. If you're going to go to, pick a franchise, any franchise, pick a franchise, whatever it is you like. What do you like? Any franchise that's out there can tell you everything about that franchise. How long you're going to cook this burger on this side, on that side. How long those fries are going to cook. How many, what's the volume of that bag? How much is going to fit in that bag? How much is going to fit in that cup? How much we're going to make off of that, profit off of that particular cup? How much does it cost us versus how much we sell it for? There are these things called loss leaders, meaning, I might sell something for 99 cents that cost me $1.30 to produce and sell, to buy it, the goods, produce it, and sell it. It might cost me $1.30, but you're going to buy other stuff. It might cost me a nickel for a large drink that I sell you for $2. It might cost me 7 cents for the French fries. Anyway, that's a loss leader. It brings people in. Have you ever gone to a bar and they've got ridiculously salty popcorn and everything they give you it's a ton of salt? They do that so that you can buy beverages. Period. They're just getting you in, but they know everything about their business. Every aspect about their business is systematized. There's a process for it, all the way down to how they clean it and when they clean it, how they clean the bathrooms, the lobby, everything. Everything is detailed. That's how your business has to be structured. You have to know, okay, here's my peak calling hours. I'm not calling people at 9 o'clock in the morning. Why? Doesn't work. I don't get a hold of anybody. We made, 1,000 calls on Tuesday between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and only got this many people or this many people appointments. All right. Maybe that's not the ideal time after you've checked it out for a while. All right, so we've got somebody that says something here. Let's see. I don't know who this is, but thank you. This is from someone from Facebook that says, thank you for the first 30-day challenge. I had to look at your business, but we have 2 flips on the market along with 3 other homes under contract for rentals. Congratulations. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. You're on your way. You are on your way. All right, so let me just see that again. You have 2 flips on the market and 3 other homes under contract for rentals. That is great because those rental properties are going to bring you in that income that you really, really want. Whose process is out of whack? Processes were out of whack. Whose process was out of whack, and what do you mean? Please share that with me. Process were out of whack. Yeah, share that with me. Let's talk about it. Because you got to tighten those up. And they're always something that you're tweaking, by the way. You never have it all the way down. Once you think you do, it's time for you to switch it up again. Once you think you have it, and you will for a while, for a little while, you're going to have it where it's a well-oiled machine, but you always have to pay attention. I call it minding the store. You always have to mind the store, right? Because it doesn't matter what you're doing right now, things are going to shift. Something is going to shift, right? Something is going to shift. All right, so they follow our processes with marketing and reaching out to the seller and follow-up. Okay, so that was out of whack. I get it. That's always what it is. That follow-up thing, you'll hear people constantly talk bad about the follow-up. Constantly talk bad about follow-up. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are big players in the game that are sending out mailers and they're paying for PPC, which is pay per click, social media stuff. And they're not worried about the follow-up. Why? Because they send out 50,000, 60,000 mailers a month. They have, maybe if they're running national campaigns, maybe they have, maybe 1,000 people click and they're closing a good percentage of them. Why would they need to follow up? They really wouldn't. But for the little guys like you and I that aren't closing 100 deals a month, we need to follow up. We need to keep that process going. And I'm a firm believer that even if you are closing 50, 60, 80, 90, 100 deals a month, which some people are doing, very few, I'm a firm believer that the follow-up process needs to be in place because the people that said no today are going to say yes tomorrow. It's just a matter of time. Do I follow up with them for 5 years? No, absolutely not. Will I follow up with them for 6 months to 12 months? Absolutely. I sure enough will. And I do it all the time, right? Okay, let's see. We hired an acquisitions manager and better callers. How do you classify the better callers? How do you measure that, right? Other than their output, what they've done, what you can see. How is that working for your business? Having an acquisitions manager is solid for sure. Takes a lot of time off your plate. Having better callers is solid for sure. What is that costing you? Where'd you get them? And what is the output looking like, right? I know that you're measuring that. I'm asking you these questions rhetorically. You can share it with us if you'd like, but it's really an important thing because you can get people for $4 or $5 an hour that can give you each one of them 4 or 5 appointments a week, maybe more, or you can hire someone for $15 an hour that's giving you the same 4 or 5 appointments a week, but they qualify them better. Now, what's the difference? Well, the person that's getting $15 an hour has been doing it forever. They've been doing it for a long time. Maybe, like us, we have Steve Raymer. Steve Raymer, what's going on? He said, I'm in. That's great. Now, let me say this. Steve is in on LinkedIn. Thanks for watching, Steve, and I appreciate the comment. Thank you so much. Now, for anyone that wants to have a conversation, there is a link in the description. I checked it out. It works. It's clean. It's straight. That's just for a one-on-one consultation to see what it is you want to do. It's like it's really not a consultation. It's more of a strategy session where you say, hey, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm doing, and this is what I want to do. Here's where I want to go. what do we need to do, or what do I need to do to get there? And so I'll help you build a strategy. I say it's 30 minutes. More often than not, we're on there for 40, sometimes an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, really, because I really want to help folks, period, point blank. Yes, I'm going to talk about the programs and trainings and partnerships that we offer, but I'm going to help you. You're going to get off that call. It's a Zoom. You're going to get off that Zoom with a very clear idea of what you need to do for you, whether you decide to work with me or not, period, right? I want to see you win. It's more important for me to develop the relationship than anything else. Anybody who's been in any of the programs, from the marketing challenge to the wholesale challenge, anything else, I'm here for you. I'm with you. Let's just make it happen. So anyway, going back to these processes and systems, you need to set them up. And $20,000 is the mark that I look at before you really start adding something different. Because at that point, if you've got 2 or 3 months consistently doing that on your own, you absolutely know how to teach someone else to do it. You don't have to put a curriculum in place, but pay attention to what you say. Pay attention to what you do in any given situation, because that's what you're going to have to train. And a lot of what you're going to give of you, it's impossible for you to train because it's a gut feeling. And how do you get those gut feelings? You get them from doing it, right? You're going to get on the phone and you're going to talk to people. I have people constantly that say they're so nervous, I can't talk to people. Because you're on the phone. They can't see you. They can't touch you. The worst thing they can do is hang up on you. You're afraid of that? Don't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of that. Why would you be afraid of that? Tell me. Because here's what I hear from the Cracker Jack boxes out there that I deal with. You're telling me you got the problems, but then you can't tell me what it is. Stop it with that. Stop it. Just stop. Speak your piece. Don't worry about who's ever on the other line. By the time you see them, if you see them, they're not going to care about any of that because you've promised them a check. You got a contract. They're going to get it sold or buy it, and they're going to get their check, and they're going to go on, and they're going to be happy, all right? So we have someone from Facebook that says, we used to get a deal a month. With the process, we are now trying to get 2 deals a week under contract. Now I have to dial it in to see what markets I need to go into. Hey, that's great. And I'll give you this. Here's some great markets that are working for us right now. I mean, there's great stuff all over the place. There's little tiny places in California that are working well. Outside of San Francisco, Northern California, there's all kind of little cities there that are doing really, really well. We got my guy Mike, who's knocking it down over there right now. Of course, Atlanta, it's crazy. Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Birmingham, Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, Akron, Ohio. I kind of stay out of Cleveland. You know, for me, there's not a lot of corporate activity there. So I'm not really interested in doing stuff. I've sold some things in that area that I'm just really not, I'm not feeling it the way a lot of people are. And that's okay. That's just me. You know, I know people that do deals in Detroit right now, and I'm not into that kind of thing. I'm not into it. It's not me. It doesn't work for the way I invest. I'm not going to knock you for what you want to do, though. I'm going to help you do it to the best of my ability. But I don't want to go into those places where they're super slow. You know, Cleveland is a weird market, you know, and until it really starts to pick up, and who knows when that's going to be, I just stay away. I've got deals that are coming across my desk literally on a daily basis in Cleveland, right? Literally on a daily basis. There's still, you know, $100, $500 deals in Detroit that you can go and pick up if you want to do it. But who's going to rent it? Somebody eventually is going to rent it or buy it from you. You know, you buy a house. It's the only house on the block that's renovated. You bought it, you renovated it, and it's ready to go. But I don't know. Over time, as industry comes there, because you got to have the jobs. You got to have something that's making the money. You know, just opening up restaurants and cafes and that kind of thing. That's not going to bring the money that's necessary, because those are people that live in the community that are spending their dollars that they make from somewhere else in the community. So where are those big national and multinational companies at? Obviously, it's still the America's capital for building automobiles, but they're building them everywhere right now. They're building them in Georgia. They're building them in North Carolina. They're building them in Mexico. They're building them in Canada. They're building them all over the place for sale here. And so it's important that you understand what you want to do for an investment process. Are you wholesaling? Are you buying and holding? It's important that you understand what that looks like, because that's going to really determine where you're going to go. If you're just wholesaling, you're just focusing on places that you have a turnover, right? Going into an area where there's a population of 36,000 people, probably not going to have a lot of turnover unless it's adjacent to a major city. Like, we have a small city here on the north side called Johns Creek. And if you just look at the numbers, you're like, okay, it's a high income, high net worth community. Houses are pretty spendy for Georgia anyway. They're spendy. People aren't moving. They're going there to stay, but it's small. It's tiny. But then you say, why would I want to invest in there? When you look around it, you've got Atlanta, Brookhaven, all these cities that are surrounding it has been annexed off of Atlanta. So, when you look at that, you're like, oh man, now I get it. So if you find something for $400,000, you can buy it, modernize it, and sell it for $1 million, whatever the case. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But if that's what works, that's what works. Okay, AC Studios. Hey, Jason, your suggestion is to start with wholesaling. Is that correct? Or what would be your suggestion to start with? Okay, so it's not necessarily my suggestion, but great question. Great question, by the way. It's not necessarily my suggestion. It really depends on someone's attributes. And in this case, I'm talking about their cash assets, their time, all the things that they're willing to do, because you can wholesale because you make money wholesaling, but you also want to build a passive income. Why? It's a simple question. If you break your leg, in the day's world, you can stay home and you can wholesale at home, right? In the old days, which was not that long ago, about a decade ago, if you broke your leg, you're not making any money, so you have to have something else coming in, right? But to put a real spin on it, wholesaling is a hustle from deal to deal. Every deal you do is, that's your money. It's a hustle. So if it's all you do and you stop doing it, your business is dead. You go on vacation, there's no business being done. Now you got to start all over. As soon as you finish one deal, you're starting the next one, starting all over until you put systems and processes in place. And now you've got, if you take vacation, you've got your cold callers, you've got your acquisitions team, you've got your closing coordinator in place, and your transaction coordinators in place. You can get everything done. Everybody can do what they need to do. All you need to do is have this. This is all you need to have. And if you've got this, you can communicate with your entire team while you're on the beach, while you're drinking mimosas early in the morning, halfway around the world, whatever it is that you want to do. But it's not necessarily just starting out with wholesaling. But I can tell you definitively that when I talk to people that don't have a ton of time, they don't have a lot of money or any real money, to get started with building a passive income, then I would tell them absolutely wholesale. But as you build your business, even if you jumped in and said, you know what, I'm just going to buy from wholesalers and I'm going to fix and flip, or I'm going to buy and hold, I'm just going to do that. That's cool. I work with people that say, I don't want to build a marketing team. I would prefer to buy it off MLS and off the wholesalers that I work with. I don't care what they are making as long as it fits my buy box. I'm only interested in doing this. And then I deal with people that say, man, I don't necessarily mind paying these guys, these wholesalers, but I could take 2 of those deals and fund this whole marketing business for a year. Now it depends on how much they're making when I say 2 of those deals. You know, if they're making $15,000, $20,000 a deal, then yeah, you probably could cover with 2 or 3 deals. You could probably pay for your marketing for an entire year, only to a certain level though, right? Only to a certain level. Let me be clear. You know, $30,000 to $60,000 in marketing, there's a cap. There's only so much you're going to do. So you have to decide what is going to be my budget on a monthly basis. If your budget is $5,000 a month for marketing, what does that entail? You know, for you, does that count your software, the software you're going to need to subscribe to or not? That's a big thing because some people don't put that in that budget. I do, because that's my marketing stuff, period. So I'm counting how much I'm paying my cold callers, how much I'm paying my transaction coordinators, how much I'm paying my closing coordinators, my acquisitions team. How much am I paying them per deal? How many deals am I doing a month? That is going to tell you how many people you can hire, what you need to do, what you need to have them do, and then you can build it from there. Again, that's why I say get to the point, if you're wholesaling, to where you're doing at least 2 months, 2 to 3 months, consistently. Each one of those months, back to back to back, you've done at least $20,000 and banked some of that money. Don't spend it. Use it to grow your business. Now you can say, all right, I'm going to go get this person, this great cold caller, and this great cold caller is going to cost me, let's call it $1,500 a month. We're going to start there, and then the services I need are going to cost me, let's say you're doing, I use batch leads. There's some other ones out there. You're going to need a dialer, and I use batch dialer. You know, collectively, those things are right around $300 for one person. Right around $200-$300 a month. Depends on how many you're skip tracing. But let's just say between that and the SMS that comes with it as well, you're paying $500 a month. So now it's $2,000 a month that you're paying to have your systems, just some of, most of the systems that you need, and a cold caller. That's good. That's not bad. I mean, if that person was giving you 3 deals a month, 3 to 4 deals a month, if that one person, not you, but just that one person that you trained up is giving you, let's just say 2 to 3 deals a month, and your average deal, wholesale deal, was $10,000. Let's say that was the case. Now, my average wholesale deal is $6,700, and it's been that way for a really, really long time. We do have home run deals, though. Not going to get into that. But let's just say, again, that that's what that is. $10,000 a deal for you. It cost you $2,000 to get anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 of output from that person. Obviously, that's a great exchange. Would you not agree? Yes. Yes, I know you would. I know you would, because I would. Who wouldn't give up $2,000 to get $20,000? Everybody would do that. Everybody listening to this, whether they're listening live or later, whenever you're watching this, you're definitely going to trade 2 for that. Come on now. So you can always build both businesses together as well. You just have to look at what your attributes are. I am a big proponent of building a business, right? I don't want to work. Well, I like to work in my business. Obviously, I'm here. I'm working with you, right? I'm not hoarding this knowledge and information to myself and just enriching myself. It changed my life, so I'm here to help other people change theirs. That's why I do it, right? So if you're trying to really build a business and you're not trying to be, the person just out there, you pick someone and you mentor them here and there, that's cool. But if you're trying to build a business, I'm still building businesses. I'm just working heavily inside of one of them. But if you're building a business, you're putting people in place so you have time. Because you didn't start a business to create a job for yourself. Not most of us didn't. That's why I don't buy franchises. Why, not in the manner that a typical person would buy a franchise, because you're just buying a job for yourself. If you buy a Subway, you're going to make, I don't know, 60, 70, $80,000 a year after all that stuff. But that's you working in the business. Now you can hire someone for $40,000 or $50,000 a year to take your place, and you can make, probably $40,000 or $50,000 a year to take your place, and then you'll make, $30,000, $40,000 a year. I mean, that's not bad, right? But you got to, keep turning that over and get another one so you could turn 40 into 80, 80 into 160, 160 into 320, 320 into 640, 640 into 1280, which is 1.28 million. But that's the goal. That's what you want to do. You want to build a business and enjoy your life. That's why you're doing this. And it's the systems and the processes, outsourcing, that are going to help you do that. Now, it's okay if you're listening to me and you're saying, well, I don't have any money. I just have a bunch of time. All right, cool. Go on Zillow or Redfin, or if you have a friend that's an agent, and you can get some information there and start calling people. Look for the pre-foreclosures in your area and just call until you get a deal. Just stay on the phone. If you can dedicate 2, 3, 4 hours a day, if you're not doing anything, and you can put 20 hours a week into your cold calling, you're going to get deals. But that's a lot of calling, right? It's a lot of calling for a person that has a job, that has a family. But I say this: if you do have a job and you do have a family and you can go work your job and come home and enjoy some time with your family and then sit and watch TV for the next 2 to 3 hours, you've got time to build your business. You've got time to build your business. So stop playing with me and get at what you need to do. Build your business. Those 2, 3 hours that you're watching TV aren't giving you anything. They're not doing anything for you. Just pacifying your mind. It's nothing. Just give it to yourself. Do for you, because guess what? If you've got children, they're watching you. If you've got a spouse, they're watching you. If they get mad at you because you're trying to enrich yourself or better yourself or add more, because that's what you want better than mediocre, and you're with someone that doesn't like that for you, I'm giving you relationship advice. Move on. Get out of there. Quick, fast, in a hurry. Like a magician. Where'd he go? Get out. Because they're holding you back. They're holding you back. And maybe they don't want to be, they just don't see who you are or what you want to do or even what they want to do at that moment in time. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that right now, there needs to be a separation. And just do it. Just create it. But let me get off of that, because I'm not here to give you life advice. I'm here to talk about real estate. So, and if you want that that strategy session, that one-on-one strategy session, there is a link in this description. By all means, just go hit it. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. We'll set up a Zoom, and we'll talk about your business and how we can make it better, or how you can get started doing it, period, point blank, right? So 20,000, that's the point before you get into the next. Do your first deal if you haven't done it, and then start building and building and building, because it's there. It's right there that everything starts to change for your life. It's that first deal. It's that proof of concept that comes in and says, hey, I can do this. And the proof of concept doesn't just start when you close the deal, although having that money really kind of solidifies everything, but it really, really hits home when you're on the phone and you're talking to somebody and they say, yes. And then you have another great feeling when you send the contract and it comes back signed, and you send it over to the attorney or the title company, and you're like, yes, we're a step closer. And then there's another great feeling, which is almost like, is this really happening? I don't know what you'd call that. When the closing attorney says, hey, everything is good. You got your buyer, you got your seller, everybody's ready to go. Paperwork is ready. The closing date is set for Wednesday at 2:00. Send me your wiring information. Boy, that's a great feeling. The first time
The first time, oh man. Along the way, it feels great. There's this level of anticipation that you can't shake. It's unshakable. And then once you've closed the deal and the money has been wired into your account and you can look at it and touch it and you go on your phone and you're like, man, this is real. This is a real thing. I mean, this is mine. I made this out of nothing. Now it's real. Now you have to duplicate that. Now you have to do whatever you made, you have to duplicate that. And over time you get better. You get better at making deals where you might have made $3,000 on this deal. The next time you're going to negotiate it a little differently and you might make $6,000. And the time after that, you're going to negotiate it and maybe you only do, 20 or 30% better on the next one, but you're making $7,500 and it goes up and up and up and up. And over time, especially when you get into a situation where you're really, when you're up there and you're doing PPC and direct mail and you've got all this whole big business going, it's at that moment. It's literally at that moment where you sit back and you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I have a real business here. And now you're making $20,000, $30,000 a wholesale deal. You're fix and flips. You're going to cherry pick. You're going to take the ones that make the most sense for you. Because I promise you the big boys aren't doing a deal unless they can make $20,000. They're not. They're just not. They're not doing it at all, But it is what it is. And I just want to say this. I know we're getting ready to close out, and I want to thank you all for being here and listening. And again, that free 30-minute strategy session, it's a one-on-one. You can have your business partner on there. Just hit the link below and let's have a conversation about it, because I'm not here to teach you how to be smart. I'm not. Everyone that's listening to this or watching this, you're already smart. You're smart already. You're a smart person. I'm not teaching you how to be smart. You're smart in your own right. I'm teaching you how to execute. I'm teaching you how to take what's in your mind right now and turn it into a reality. That is it. Now, for some, that may not feel like much, but execution is everything. Execution is everything. How smart you are has nothing to do with it. It's about what you can recognize, and you recognize things through execution, through doing it. It's not smart, it's practice. It's practice. Anything you do over and over and over and over again, it's inevitable. You're going to get good at it. It just is what it is. You're going to get good at it. It's not a joke. It's not a game. So if you want this to be your reality, please, by all means, click the link in this description, set up that time, and let's have a conversation. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm here to help, period. I want to see you in. So I'm going to get on out of here because I'm going to go ahead and cook. I'm going to get myself situated. I talked earlier about how well my father cooks and how well I cook. It's going to be great. On the menu tonight is a nice rosemary, garlic, lemon baked chicken. Takes about 45 minutes. So wait a minute. We've got one more person here. This is Brian Wenzel. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Brian's watching on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your knowledge and insight. I enjoyed learning. I enjoyed being here for you, Brian. Thank you so much for commenting. Share this. Continue to watch. I do this every Sunday. It's called Sunday School. If you miss it live, you can always see it on Facebook in the Facebook group or on YouTube. It's there. I'm here. I'm always here. If you've got questions, reach out. But by all means, yet again, go ahead. You're welcome, sir. AC Studio says thanks. Thanks, Jason. Great advice. If you're watching, hit that link in this description. Get that one-on-one, and let's make things happen. This is your man, Miles. I want to thank you all for your time. I know how precious it is, and I will talk to you later. Thank you so very much for your time. I really, really, really do appreciate it, because you could be doing anything else with anyone else, anywhere else. Peace. What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? I hope you're feeling great, doing well. I've had a lot of conversations over the past, I'd probably say about the past couple months, 2-3 months, about people wanting to get involved in real estate and asking how they can get involved in real estate given all that's going on with the economy. Well, you either have a lot of time, which means you don't have the money, or you have a lot of money, which means you don't have the time. And they want to know how they can get involved in real estate. Some of them have said, look, man, what do I need to do to just get into a deal, right? I don't really have the time to do all of that. So we've just invested their money in some of the deals that we do. So I'm here to open the invitation to all my friends and family that are watching this right now. If you're interested in getting involved in real estate and you simply don't have a ton of money or you don't have a ton of time, maybe you only have, $5,000, maybe you have $100,000, I don't know. But if you're interested in investing in real estate deals passively, truly passively, just reach out to me. There's no link, this isn't an ad, just DM me and let's have a conversation. We've got deals right now that we can fund. Right now, as of right now, multifamily as well as single family, deals that you can be in as little as 6 months and as much as 2 or 3 years, depends on the scenario and what your particular investment strategy is. All I can say is let's have a conversation. So if you're interested, friends and family, just reach out, let's have a conversation.